So this training session is relevant and timely and important for at least two reasons. The first one is that in the current context of uncertainty, where we are pretty much focusing on the short-term crisis, it is important not to lose sight of the major long-term trends that are here to stay, be demographics or climate change. An additional reason is that we at think tanks are used to study the past, to analyze the present, and provide solutions for the future. But probably the recent changes in world politics and economics also ask for an innovation also in our methodology. So building scenarios, using our imagination and our creativity to try to figure out what the world will look like in 5-10 years is also a useful way to provide policy advice and policy-oriented analysis for EU officials, UN members, African stakeholders.
This exercise started with what we call an horizon scan of EU-Africa relations in the next decade. This is part of a strategic foresight process that looks beyond immediate pressures to identify potential future disruptions across various domains. A second step was a scenario exercise where we divided participants into 5 teams and we had them negotiate their position around an imaginary proposal made by BRICS countries to reframe multilateralism in a scenario of stronger climate impacts. Following our horizon scan and our scenario exercise, participants discussed policy implications for EU-Africa in 2035.
The value of today's forecast exercise was to think about how, based on a certain scenario, how the world could look like 10 years from now in the year 2035. And the question to participants from a very diverse backgrounds and different organizations was to make them think on how they can position themselves in the framework of the scenario that we presented, a completely different multilateral system. So it asked, for example, groups working on the European Union or the African Union or Russia or the US, how they would position themselves in this future scenario. And it really forces people to think critically, but also to try to come to a common position, even if the outcome is messy.